Hello, my friend, and welcome to the Zendo. Today I'd like to talk about and help you understand advanced meditation. Meditation, true meditation, really doesn't begin until there's no more meditator, until the meditator dissolves into the meditation. So the practice of meditation, we're still a meditator practicing meditation, aren't we? We're still a meditator practicing meditation, but advanced meditation and the fulfillment of meditation is when that meditator disappears, when all thoughts dissolve into the meditation itself. And this is advanced meditation. This is the fulfillment of meditation. This is what meditation is really about. Because until we experience this, we haven't really experienced this great peace and bliss and love that we experience in meditation. That only happens when the meditator dissolves, when the self dissolves, when we're free of all thoughts. Thoughts are what create our suffering, our difficulties, and prevent us from seeing this great peace, happiness, joy, and love that's always here, that is just our true nature, that's the essence of life. So, in this video, I'd like to give you a couple of practices that are advanced meditation practices. This is after you've been doing the breathing and after you've been doing the other things. But even in the beginning, there's moments when this happens. And that's advanced meditation. That's the fulfillment of meditation. When this happens, when the meditator dissolves, when all thoughts dissolve into this great peace, joy, love. So let's begin with one of the more common practices. This is a Tibetan practice. It's called the blue sky meditation or the infinite sky meditation. And it's a wonderful practice. You know, it really works well and is not very difficult to do. So imagine that there's this infinite blue sky, as you see here, this infinite blue sky. And occasionally clouds come. It's okay. Think of the clouds as your thoughts. One of your thoughts is your sense of the meditator, your sense of I. All thoughts that come are just these clouds, just these clouds. And as you see the clouds come and go, allow them to come and go, and bring your attention more and more onto the blue sky. Put your attention on this infinite blue sky that's the background that all clouds come in. The background that all clouds appear in, right? Just like clouds in the sky, your thoughts appear to this infinite space of this blue sky, this infinite emptiness of blue sky. Everything appears in this infinite blue sky. So let the thoughts come, but bring your attention onto the blue sky itself. Focus your attention on the blue sky until you don't care about the clouds anymore. Thoughts come, but they just sort of dissolve into the blue sky. Everything dissolves into the blue sky. The sense of you dissolves into this infinite blue sky until all there is blue sky. All there is blue sky. And then let this blue sky go too. This is a wonderful practice, a wonderful meditation practice. You do this practice and you'll know you're successful when you're feeling this great peace, joy, and love. Just here, this enormous freedom. When you experience that, when you feel that, you know that this meditation practice has been successful. And all the ones I'm going to tell you about have been successful. That's how you know. When you feel this unlimited freedom, peace, joy, and love. Good, you succeeded. And this always happens when you let go of the sense of an I, this thought of a separate I. Whenever you let go of this thought of a separate I, that is this great freedom, peace, bliss, and love. That's what you experience when you let go of this I. Simple as that. but challenging for most of us. So many people have asked me about this, so I'm giving you these practices to help you let go of this sense of an I, to help you let go of thoughts and be free of thoughts. Thoughts can come and go, but your attention is instead on this space, this great peace, joy, love, bliss, freedom. So the next practice is not focusing on anything. This is classical shikantaza meditation, where we just let everything go without having another subject to look at. The first one, we use the blue sky and the clouds, and this one we're just going to let go. It's a little more challenging, to be sure. We just let go of thoughts. We let go of the sense of I. We just continually let go. And as we do our practice, just as you've been doing with the breath or anything else, training yourself to be able to focus, when thoughts come, we just let them go again. When the thought of I arises, we just let it go again. When the thought of the meditator arises, I'm working on this, we just let go of that I and return to nothing. There's no subject here. But this is not the nothing that we think of, because this is beyond thoughts. When thoughts come, we let them go. Now what you're seeing here is a black screen, just black. But that's not accurate either. There isn't black or white. There's nothing. Nothing that we can say. This is beyond concepts. We're letting all concepts go. And when we do, again, there's just this great sense of freedom, of enormous infinite peace, of bliss, happiness for no reason, and love. It's always this way when we let go of the sense of a self. It doesn't matter what the subject is. It's not trying to get peace, trying to get happiness. It's just always here. We're missing it because our attention is riveted and attached to thoughts, particularly the thought of I, a separate self. Awakening is only the end of this illusion of a separate self. So the third practice I'm going to do, now let me, a little bit about that practice too. The practice where we have no subject, where we're just letting go into nothing, for lack of a better word. Nothing isn't a good word for it either. It's not a void, it's not nothing, it's not everything. It's the absence of all of this, all of it, letting go of absolutely everything. The challenge in this is that thoughts do arise more quickly with this, right? We have to keep doing this because we don't really have anything to anchor our attention, you know? There isn't anything to anchor our attention. So in that way, thoughts can come up more frequently with this practice than they do with the first practice, which is the blue sky meditation, and also with this next practice, which is one that I recommend and one that I use myself often. I use all three of them, mostly the emptiness into nothing with no subject, and this next one, which is an emptiness and opening into something that we cannot conceive of, that's beyond our thoughts. Now for me, that is God, source. You know, these things, God or source or the divine or whatever. I have no concept for this is. I know this is beyond any of my thoughts. This is very clear to me. So I'm free to use this word. If you have a concept about God or source, then that's not going to work for you. Maybe the great mystery, the infinite unknown, or something like that. Anything that you don't have a concept about what it is, that it's open and there cannot be any concept about it. It's beyond all thoughts and concepts. So whatever that is for you, that's what you want to use as the subject of this. Something that's beyond all concepts, that's beyond a something that's beyond everything, and yet it is a subject of meditation. It is something that you're going to use, unlike the second one where there's nothing, we're just letting go. In this one, we have a subject, but it's not a subject that we can conceive of. It's not a subject that we can make any concept out of. So this is the third one. I use the word God. You might use the infinite mystery or the great unknown or whatever works for you. And if we imagine that this is an infinite ocean, just an infinite vast ocean that extends infinitely everywhere, and we dissolve everything into this, any thought that comes dissolves into the ocean, like a pinch of salt into an infinite ocean. It just dissolves. So we allow everything just to dissolve into this. So all there is this infinite unknown, this great unknown, or God or source, whatever you want to use, whatever word you want to use beyond concepts. This is what everything dissolves into. So the thought of I completely dissolves into this vast infinite ocean. All thoughts dissolve into this. As soon as they come, they just dissolve into this. So that all thoughts are nothing but this great, vast, infinite ocean. Unlike the first one where clouds are dissolving, now we're realizing that everything is only this vast, infinite ocean. Every thought that arises is really just this vast ocean. The I thought, the I as a separate self, dissolves into this, and we realize it's never been anything but this vast, infinite ocean. This is a wonderful practice, and when you do this practice, you can realize you can stay here without the interference of thoughts for a much longer time. And likewise, when you're done with your meditation practice, you open your eyes and you look around, everything you see is just this vast, infinite ocean. No matter what it appears to be, the truth of it is this vast, infinite sea, this unknown, this beyond concept. And so this is helpful not only in your meditation practice, but it moves into your daily life. So everything you see is just this. Ramana Maharshi called it the self with a capital S, or the true self. It's not a personal self. It's everything. It's the infinite. It's unknowable, except it's what we are. We are nothing but this self. Everything we perceive is nothing but this self. We've dissolved everything into this self. The world, the sense of a separate identity, has all dissolved into this self, so it is only the self. This is the third advanced meditation practice. Of the three practices, I find this one the most useful, the most accessible, and the most useful for our entire life. Because as we start seeing everything as nothing but the self, this is how Ramana Maharshi sees the world, Muji. This is awakened consciousness. We see the subtle realm of everything, the underlying reality of everything that exists. And we are the underlying reality of all that exists. There is no separation anywhere. So this third practice is a wonderful practice to just allow everything to dissolve into this infinite ocean. And again, we know we're successful when we feel this enormous, expansive freedom, peace, love, and bliss. This is ourself. This is this infinite ocean. And always we feel this way. Because this does underlie everything. Our thought of I as a separate person, a separate being, this is a dream, an illusion, a conditioned thought. As is everything we perceive in the world through this dream of an I. There's me and that person, me and you, me and a tree, me and the world, me and the universe. It's not that way. There is only this great infinite unity. And our thoughts interfere with that. That's why we're not happy. That's why we're not feeling this enormous freedom and peace, bliss and love, because that is our true nature. When those illusions have fallen away, when the dream has fallen away, we wake up to what we are. And these meditation practices can help you do this. I hope they do. Thank you for listening, my friend. Namaste.